But at his 80th birthday this weekend, he got a bit of a surprise gift when he was served a summons to appear in said court. Now, guests apparently were freaking out. Some were crying because they were like so upset about this. They were not so upset that he partook in lies about what was happening in the country, but they were upset that he was served. But my question is this. Let me get myself together. I knew you'd appreciate it. Did he really think he could outrun the law?
Oh, yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
But then he told everybody where he was.
That was Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of the hosts on The View mocking Rudy Giuliani, longtime Trump stooge. You know who Rudy Giuliani is. And he had this very wild situation play out where he was at his 80th birthday party and took it as an opportunity to mock Arizona authorities for struggling to find him, to serve him with the notice of his indictment in the fake electors case in Arizona specifically. Obviously, he was also indicted in the Fulton County case. But before getting to another live stream Rudy Giuliani, a moment from it that's just so cringe to watch, he did after this news took place. This is sort of how the story played out. So he posted this, again, his 80th birthday party, and said, if Arizona authorities can find me by tomorrow morning, number one, they must dismiss the indictment. Number two, they must concede they can't count votes, which doesn't exactly sound like a requirement in law. But here's NBC News reporting on this as well. Arizona's Democratic Attorney General Chris Mays on Friday announced that Rudy Giuliani had been served with the notice of his indictment on charges related to a conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election results in Arizona. The announcement came less than 2 hours after Giuliani taunted Mays for failing to deliver his indictment in a social media post. Oof, Rudy. The notice was served to Giuliani during his 80th birthday celebration in Palm Beach, Florida. You also have the Associated Press reporting on this, saying that Arizona's Attorney General says former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani has been served, and he was the last of the 18 defendants in this case. Again, individuals being indicted for attempting to overturn through fraudulent means the Arizona electoral results in the 2020 election, in particular through this fake elector scheme. We've talked so much about it, but trying to get accepted as the lawful electors, fraudulent ones that would serve to disenfranchise millions of voters in certain swing states and make Trump win an election that he actually lost. And Rudy Giuliani, as, what's the word, goofy, as much as he struggles, whatever you might describe it as, he was central to this. And he was advising, as freaky as this is, at the time, the president of the United States in this effort to overturn the election results. And so he should be held accountable. As this is playing out, I know a lot of people are saying, why did this take so long? And that's a justified criticism for sure. Justice sometimes does take time. Did it have to take this long? I don't know, but it does sometimes take time. And that's why we have to keep following it. We can't become numb to the fact that this is the current political situation in the United States, where there's a movement that is still prominent and could win power again after last time they lost power. They tried to subvert the will of the people and install one of the guys as president undemocratically. But now, whoa, he's the candidate again. It is something that can numb you out and make you want to detach, but we can't. And we have to make sure that justice does indeed prevail. I have more to say, but first let's watch this interview he did with Dr. Maria Ryan. And he has this America's Mayor live stream he does rather often. He did it at his birthday celebration, and he did it a little bit later, reflecting on what took place.
They say it was two guys.
I saw the second guy.
I only saw one guy. He walked in between a couple of people who didn't know who he was, and he handed me a folded up, crumpling piece of paper. I mean, it must have been, I don't know what he was doing with before. It was a crumpling piece of
Rudy.
paper. It wasn't like done stylishly. And he handed it to me, and he said, "This is from Arizona.
attorney general.
I don't know if this is a summons or an indictment. What is an indictment? I still don't have the indictment.
Yeah, that Arizona.
Well, maybe it'll be like Trump. They won't tell him
You
what
make
he's charged with.
an indictment to harass American hero, and you don't even give him the indictment.
I'm going to play more. Did I just hear American hero as a description of Rudy Giuliani? Yikes. Also, please stop talking over each other. Okay, continue.
After he gets convicted, God forbid if that happens, they'll tell him
What the crime was.
Tell you what the crime was after you're convicted.
Dear Lord, what's happening to our country?
Yeah, I mean,
But there was a lot of fake news around it, and shame on them. I have to say, some neighbors did come out because look, it was a
Okay. You know, we were talking, the team and I, before clicking record on this video about the sad trajectory of Rudolph Giuliani. And it is a sad trajectory. I think, as I've said before, he's an adult, and so he should be held accountable for his actions, especially the threatening to democracy actions he took. So we don't have to pity him. But his 80th birthday party is marked by him being served a notice of an indictment, one of two now, related to this insane attempt to overthrow an election. And that's the ending to his story, or that's going to be one of the big parts of how he's remembered in history. Any good things that he would want to be remembered for, gone. It's just going to be this cartoonish character, yes, who also was very dangerous and who went down in flames with Donald Trump. And this is sort of what being super loyal to Trump for many years gets you. You end up being at your 80th birthday party, being served a notice of your own indictment. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. I want you to tell me, will Rudy Giuliani be remembered for anything other than being Trump's stooge?